Okay, good day everyone. So let's talk about worksheet preparation. So first, let us define what is a worksheet. Okay, a worksheet or working paper is a columnar sheet used as a tool or bridge connecting the trial balance to financial statements. An accounting worksheet is a spreadsheet used to prepare accounting information and reports. Accounting worksheets are most often used in accounting cycle process to draft an unadjusted trial balance, adjusting journal entries, adjusted trial balance, and financial statements. So that is a definition provided by www.myaccountingcourse.com. Okay, so for you to have an idea of what a worksheet look like, okay, so let's just proceed to the Excel file. Okay, so this is the actual look and feel of a worksheet. By the way, this is just a sample. Okay, this could vary from others. Okay, so on top is the name of the business. Next, the document type or the name of the document. In this case, this is a worksheet. Okay, and the year-end reporting date, which is December 31, 2020. Okay, so on the left side, we have the account title starting from cash down to the expenses. Okay. So as mentioned before, account titles or chart of account could vary depending on the nature of the business. There are certain account title that will not apply to the other business. Okay. So chart of account is unique from business to business. Next, we have the unadjusted trial balance, adjustments, adjusted trial balance, income statement, the balance sheet. Okay. So we have two columns under them. Okay. So all in all, this is a 10 column worksheet. Okay. So first thing, in order for us to do to prepare the worksheet is we have to fill in muna the unadjusted trial balance. Where to get these amounts, okay? So if you could remember in the accounting cycle, which always starts with journalizing, okay? We record the business transaction in the general journal. Then we post, okay, so posting. We post each transaction in the general ledger. And next, after posting, is the preparation of preliminary trial balance. Okay, so once you're done with the preliminary trial balance, those amounts or those data, yun yung gagamitin natin dito sa pag-fill in kay unadjusted trial balance. Okay, so let us refer to a problem. So ito. Below is the unadjusted trial balance of Reyes Travel Agency for the year ended December 31, 2020. Okay, so binigyan na tayo ng unadjusted trial balance. So these amounts, ito na yung gagamitin natin. We will just transfer all of this to the worksheet. Okay? So, actually, nalipat ko na kanina yung mga account titles. So, ang gagawin na lang natin is just to transfer those amounts. Okay, so let's start with 126 na cash down to all debits hanggang sa miscellaneous expense. Okay, so naka-debit siya doon. So, of course, dito din. Okay? Next, yung credits naman yung i-transfer natin. Okay? Okay, copy. Dito. All right. Sorry, dito pala yan. Okay. So, ito na yung unadjusted trial balance. Nilipat lang natin siya sa worksheet. Okay, so let me just clean up this. Formatting, Oh, okay. So, get the total of both sides and as expected, dapat equal. Okay, so 7,933,000 pa rin siya. Okay, so ganun lang. Nilipat lang natin yung data, okay, sa worksheet. Next, okay, is for you to prepare the adjusting entries na ilalagay natin under the adjustments. Okay, so dito na papasok yung adjusting entries na napag-aralan natin last time. Okay? Actually, the tricky part lang sa pag-prepare ng worksheet is itong adjustments. Okay? Kasi the moment na magkamali ka, even just a single amount, mali na rin yung malilipat natin sa adjusted trial balance. Same with the amounts na ma-forward natin sa income statement hanggang balance sheet. Okay, so you have to be extra careful in doing the adjusting entries. And I'm sure and I'm confident na by this moment, hopefully, no, nag-gets nyo na si adjusting entries. Okay, so ano nga ba yung mga items na kailangan nating i-adjust? Balik tayo sa problem. So here it is. We have the additional information. We have items A down to E. So 5 adjustments all in all. So itong 5 items na to, i-adjust natin. Gagawa natin ito ng adjusting entries na ipapasok natin again sa worksheet under the adjustments column. Okay, so 5 adjustments lang. Kayang-kaya. Okay, so ito na yung mga kailangan nating i-adjust. Okay, so we have 5 items that needs to be adjusted. Okay, for item A, on November 1, 2020, Reyes paid Royo Rentals $360,000 for 6 months rent on the office building commencing that date. Okay, so this is an example of a prepaid rent, advance payment. Under what concept, deferral or accrual? This is under deferral. So this is a deferred expense. Expense na binayaran natin in advance. Okay? If you can still remember, ano nga ba si deferred expense? Ito lang yung may expense sa pangalan, pero by nature, hindi pa talaga siya expense. Okay? Asset muna ito. That means, during the transaction date, sa pagbayad natin ng advance na renta, wala tayong na-record sa book na expense. Na-record natin siya as asset. Okay, anong account title yon? Okay, so let's have a journal entry for that. Ang date natin is November 11. Okay, during November 11, ang entry natin sa book ay prepaid rent. Ba, ito yung account title na ginagamit for advance payment. For insurance naman, paid in advance, prepaid insurance. Okay, pinalitan lang. Okay, debit prepaid rent, credit cash. Kasi noong November 1, 2020, nagbayad daw si Reyes ng 6 months advance rental. Okay? 360 kasi is good for 6 months. November 1, wala pang nag-due na rent. Advance payment ang ginawa natin. Kaya as of November 1, wala pa tayong na-record as expense. Ang ginawa natin, na-record natin siya under prepaid rent. Na-record as asset. Okay? So amount is 360,000. Debit, okay, credit cash 360,000. Okay, so ito yung entry natin noong November 11. Wala tayong nirecognize na expense. Ang ginawa natin, nirecord natin as asset, as prepaid rent. Okay, ngayon, since i-adjust na natin ang book, okay, by December 31, 2020, assuming na December 31, 2020 na ngayon, okay, gagawa tayo ng adjustments. Okay, bakit? Okay, because portion of this 360,000 ay nagamit na, ay nag-expire na, di ba? Noong November 1, okay, noong November 1 kasi, wala pa tayong na-consume dito. Okay, wala pa tayong nagamit sa 360,000. Pero as of December 31, 2 months na yung nakalipas. So that is just November down to December. So ang gagawin natin, babawasan natin si asset. Okay, na prepaid rent. At dahil babawasan, i-adjust natin. Babawasan natin at magre-recognize tayo ng expense. Pero ang i-recognize lamang natin ay 2 months kasi yun lang yung nag-expire na. Okay, so 360,000. Okay, so to compute for that, 360,000, okay, times 2 months divided by 6. Bakit 6? Kasi nga, 360 is good for 6 months. So 120,000 lang yung, okay, nagamit na natin. Therefore, ibabawasan natin ngayon ang asset na prepaid rent ng 120,000. At magre-record din tayo ng corresponding expense. So ang adjusting entry natin dyan ay rent expense credit prepaid rent. Okay? 120,000. 120,000. Okay? So that is our adjusting entry. So ang ginawa natin, binawasan si asset. That is why we credit prepaid rent at nag-recognize na expense with debit rent expense. So ano nga bang mangyayari pag wala tayong adjustments? Okay? So sobra si asset na prepaid rent. So mali na yung ating balance sheet. Overstated na. Okay? Anong mangyayari sa income statement? So sobra rin yung income. Kasi nga, nakulangan tayo ng pag-recognize ng expense. Naipasok natin kasi ito lahat initially during November 1 as asset. Wala pa tayong expense. As of December 31, 2020 naman, okay, may na-consume na tayo na 2 months. Kaya ang gagawin, magre-record ng expense at babawasan naman si asset. Okay? Letter B. Office supplies on hand December 31, 2020 amounted to 27,000. Okay. So, i-adjust, isa sa mga adjustment natin ay supplies. Okay? Yung mga subject for inventory count. Okay? At the end of the year, these items, okay, hindi naman to araw-araw bibilangin. Okay? Although some businesses practice that one, okay, for some sort of control. Okay? Pero usually by the end of the month, end of the year, ito ginagawa. Okay? So, bakit natin kailangan ito i-adjust? Para, okay, maitama yung record ng supplies. Okay. Pero December 31 kasi, it says here na 27,000 na lang yung natira as supply. So that means, may na-consume na si business. May nagamit na, may na-issue na. In that issuance, that consumption, ang ating i-record as expense. Ang gagawin natin, babawasan natin si supplies kasi nga, okay, portion of that ay nagamit na, i-expense natin ito. Okay? So same thing na ginawa natin sa letter A, ang gagawin natin sa letter B. Magre-record na tayo ng expense, i-expense natin yung portion na nagamit na, okay? At babawasan si asset, babawasan si supplies. Okay, so ang entry natin dyan is supplies expense, credit, supplies. Okay, pero I think ang account title na ginamit is office supplies. Okay, so let's be specific. Okay, so we'll just, okay, dudugtungan lang natin. Office supplies expense, credit, office supplies. Okay? So nag-recognize na expense at babawasan supplies. By how much? Okay, kung 27,000 lang natira, let's refer to the beginning balance. May 63 daw na initial beginning balance. May natira na lang na 27. Therefore, 63 minus 27, yun yung i-record natin as expense, which is 36,000. Because ito yung nagamit na. Ito yung i-record natin as expense. Okay? So, ang ginagawa natin, nire-record natin ang expense, okay? At binabawasan natin yung asset. By how much? Okay? By the corresponding portion na na-issue na. Okay? Letter C. Okay? Depreciation expense. The furniture was purchased March 1, 2020, amounting to 1.6, diba? 1,675,000 with a useful life of 20 years. Okay? This is, okay, sa letter C na tayo. Example ng depreciation. Okay, depreciation expense. Okay, what is a depreciation? Diba? Reduction ng value ng asset due to usage and passage of time. Okay, so depreciation will only apply for those non-current assets. Okay, ano nga ba ng non-current assets? Yung mga assets na nagagamit ng business more than 1 year or more than its normal operating cycle. Okay? So since long-lived ito, okay, matagal na, medyo matagal pa na magamit ito ng business, isa-subject natin ngayon ito sa depreciation expense. That means every year or every month, magre-reduce ang value ng particular asset. Okay? as I said, applicable lang ito sa non-current assets. Therefore, those current assets, just like those supplies, yung mga inventory, since ginagamit naman iyon for the normal operating cycle, hindi yun siya subject for depreciation. So depreciation is only for those non-current assets. Example, the buildings, the machineries, equipments, IT equipments like computers. Okay? So every end of the accounting period, babawasan yung value. Okay? Nagre-recognize tayo ng depreciation expense. So how to compute for the depreciation expense? You are provided with the formula before. Okay? So that is just cost. Kung paano mo siya nabili minus the salvage value. When you say salvage value, ito na lang yung magiging value na asset at the end na ng kanyang useful life. Okay? Divided by the useful life. Okay, so let's write, let's put first the cost, 1,675,000. We have a useful life of 20. Okay, so this is the cost. Okay, life. So let's compute for the depreciation. Okay, so since walang salvage value, therefore we will just immediately divide, diba? So 1,675,000 divide 20. 83,750. Ito yung annual depreciation. We say annual, this is the yearly depreciation. Kasi yung denominator naman natin dito is years. Okay? So therefore, bawat or kada taon, binabawasan natin ang value ng furniture by 83,750. Ito yung reduction sa kanyang value. Nagre-reduce siya by 83,750. Okay? That is per year. Okay? Pero, kailan nga ba natin ito nabili? Nabili natin yung item by March 1, 2020. And so, ang computation natin for depreciation ay hindi 1 year, kundi 10 months lang. March 1 to December. Okay? So, this 83,000, 12 months ito, kukunin natin ngayon yung 10 months. Okay? So, 83,000 times 10 divide 12. Okay. So, 69,792 lang yung depreciation na good for 10 months. Okay. So, let's just round the number. So, let's make it a whole number lang. So, 69,790 for uniformity purposes. Okay, so ano nga ba yung entry natin for depreciation? It is fixed na siya. So depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation. Credit okay. So for other companies, lalo na yung mga malalaking companies, marami silang assets na isa-subject sa depreciation. Okay, so hindi pwedeng ganito lang yung entry na very general. Kailangan natin i-specify na this depreciation expense is referring or pertaining to a particular asset. Kaya ang ginagawa, okay, we have to make some specifications. In this case, depreciation expense pertaining to furniture. Okay, lalagyan lang natin ng name ng asset. Okay, furniture. Okay, so ito na yun. We will just put the amount 69,792. This one, 69,792. Okay, so letter D. Okay, sa ibang problem naman, hindi na kayo pinapakompute ng depreciation. Yung iba, binibigay na yung amount ng depreciation. So, gagawin nyo na lang, you just input the entries. This case, pinakompute pa tayo. Okay, for letter D, December 31, 2020, we have accrued salaries. Okay, so this is an example of accrual accounting, diba? Accrued expense. Okay, so when you say accrued expense, ito yung mga expense na hindi pa na-record sa book ni business. Okay, hindi pa ito bayad as of the end of the year. Okay, so hindi pa ito bayad as of the end of the year. Kaya ang gagawin, ni accountant ay i-record natin ito as expense at magre-recognize din tayo ng corresponding payable. Okay, di ba? Sa accrued expense, ito yung mga expenses na nag-accumulate na over time pero wala pa sa book. Okay? As of December 31, as of the end of the period, accounting period, okay, hindi pa ito nababayaran. Okay? Pero nag-due na ito. And so therefore, mag-record na tayo ng expense and a corresponding payable. So, salaries expense, credit, salaries, payable. Okay. For the salaries expense, di ba, 105,000 credit, 105. Okay. So, ang ginawa lang natin, nag-recognize na tayo ng expense at payable. If this is a rent na hindi pa nababayaran, so rent expense, credit, rent payable. Okay? For letter E, okay, still example din ito ng accrued expense. Okay? 500,000 note payable was issued October 1, 2020. It will be repaid in 12 months together with an interest at an annual rate of 24%. Okay. Okay, so nangutang sa business. Okay, nag-issue ng note sa business, 500,000. This will be due and payable by October next year. Okay, 1 year pa. Okay, you will repay this amount 12 months after. Okay, so that means since gagawa na tayo ng FS or financial statement for the year ending, December 31, 2020, okay? Wala pa naman tayong binabayaran pa na interest kasi nga hindi pa nag-due. Okay? Pero, tumakbo na yung computation ng interest. Diba? And how much is that? October hanggang December. Okay? So, kahit hindi pa natin ito babayaran, okay? Magre-record na tayo ngayon ng expense kasi nga nag-start na yung computation ng interest for 3 months, right? October, November, December. Okay? So, the principal amount, 500,000, and then the interest, 24. Okay, so this is now the annual interest. 500,000 times this one, the interest rate. Okay, so 120,000 yung annual interest, which is interest na good for 1 year. Okay. Pero, since October 31, 2020 lang naman, hindi 1 year yung interest na i-record natin. Good for 3 months, October to December. So, for 3 months interest, okay, so 120,000 times 3 over 12 months. Okay? So, 30,000 lang yung i-record natin as interest. Okay? October, November, December, 3 months. So, since this is an accrued expense, so we will recognize expense and also a payable. Bakit payable? Kasi hindi pa ito mababayaran ngayon. Ngayon na year-end. Okay? Next accounting period pa. Pero nag-start na yung computation ng interest. That is why magre-record na tayo ng expense. So, interest expense, credit, interest payable. Na 30,000. Okay, so ito na yan siya, lahat ng ating mga adjusting entries. Gagawin natin, ililipat natin ito sa adjustments column under sa worksheet. Okay? So, let's do it. First adjusting entry is rent expense, credit, prepaid rent. Amount, 120,000. Okay, so rent expense, debit. Okay, letter A, 120,000. So we will debit this one and we will credit the prepaid rent. Saan na ba ang prepaid rent? This one. Okay, 120,000. Next, office supplies expense 36,000 and credit office supplies 36,000. Okay, so office supplies expense, this one, 36,000, and office supplies babawasan natin, we will credit. Okay, 36,000. Next, depreciation expense and accumulated 69,792. Okay, so depreciation expense, okay, 69792, and accumulated, this one, so letter C, 69792. Okay, so 2 items to go. Letter D, salaries expense, salaries payable, 105,000. Okay, salaries expense, this one, debit. Okay, so letter D, 105,000. So ang purpose lang na nilalagyan natin ang item or letter is for tracking purposes. Okay, salaries expense. How about the payable? This one. Okay, 105,000. And lastly, interest expense, interest payable na 30,000. Interest expense, so here it goes, letter E. Magkano nga ba yun? 30,000? Tama ba? Okay. Interest payable. Alright. So, ito rin yung mga adjustments. Ang ginawa lang natin, nilipat natin ito lahat sa worksheet. Since, kung ano yung na-debit natin na amount, yun din yung nalagay natin sa credit. So, obviously, babalance din sila. So, we have a total adjustment of 360. Dapat the under credit, 360,000 din. Okay. So we have a total adjustments of 360,000 debit and credit 360,792. Okay, so yun lang. From the journal entries, okay, adjusting journal entries, nilipat natin sa adjustments na column. Okay? So see you in the next video.